Hi, my name is Naya Patterson, and today we are going to be discussing the organization cybersecurity policy and executive summary for JAM Incorporated's cybersecurity framework. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get started. Alrighty, so as said before in previous projects, the NIST cybersecurity framework is the framework that we decided to implement into our infrastructure. The NIST cybersecurity framework is ideal for JAM Incorporated as it offers adaptability and a comprehensive strategy tailored to the company's shift towards e commerce and mobile applications. This framework supports JAM Incorporated's expansive retail network addressing recent cybersecurity challenges like social engineering attacks with a flexible, customizable approach that aligns with their business goals. The five core functions of the NIST framework that were implemented during security incidents are to identify, protect, detect, respond, and recover. Creation and modification of these standards as we go on throughout the years. So, the initial step to create a standard or modify a standard is to conduct a needs assessment to identify requirements, followed by the stakeholder engagement for comprehensive input. Next, we'll move into development, and that is where we'll draft new standards with collaborative input, leading to a thorough review and approval process ensuring relevance and effectiveness. Next, we'll go into ongoing evaluation. So, this more so talks about the modification of standards. So, that is where we'll regularly review existing standards to ensure they address current threats and business changes. Then we'll move into feedback integration. That is where we'll utilize continuous feedback from users and stakeholders to pinpoint improvements. Next, we'll move into updating mechanisms. So that is where we'll revise and update standards through a structured process mirroring the initial creation steps. And then lastly, we'll go through communication and training, and that is where JAM Incorporated will effectively disseminate updated standards through training and internal communications to ensure organization wide adoption. Next, we go into the alignment of the framework to regulations and standards. As said before, we wanted to abide by a couple of different standards, definitely, and these are the three main ones that we have made sure that we are compliant with our framework. That is the General Data Protection Regulation, which focuses on privacy by design, and then the right to access and erasure of data. Then we move into the California Consumer Privacy Act, which focuses on consumer rights protection and opt out rights. And then last, we will move into payment card industry data security standards, which focuses on data encryption and access control measures. The impact that these enhancements have on JAM Incorporated not only ensures regulatory compliance, but also builds trust with customers by safeguarding their personal data and financial information. By adhering to these standards, JAM Incorporated demonstrates its commitment to data protection, which is crucial for sustaining customer loyalty and avoiding potential legal and financial penalties. Alrighty, next we'll go into our organizational security policy, and this is where we are focusing on a couple things: protecting assets and ensuring compliance. The security policy is designed to safeguard JAM Incorporated's digital and physical assets, ensuring that business operations are resilient against cyber threats. And then by adhering to industry standards like GDPR, PCI DSS, and CCPA, JAM Incorporated demonstrates its commitment to regulatory compliance, enhancing trust with customers and partners. The key policies that we wanted to formulate within our framework are as follows, starting with the acceptable use policy. The scope of this policy: only authorized use by employees with strict guidelines on data confidentiality and malware protection. And then its impact is that it ensures that all system interactions are secure and compliant with the legal standards, mitigating risk of data breaches and unauthorized access. Next, we move into policies regarding onboarding and offboarding employees within our company. So, onboarding Policies include comprehensive cybersecurity training and access control based on the principle of least privilege. And then offboarding policies include immediate revocation of system access upon employee departure, and then ensuring sensitive information remains protected. Then we move into insider threats and policies that regard to that. So the risk includes unauthorized access, data theft, and system sabotage by insiders. And the mitigation strategies that we're planning to implement are regular access audits, deployment of monitoring tools, and continuous training on recognizing and reporting suspicious activities. Next, we get into our network diagram, and then following that, our data flow diagram. So this is the network diagram that JAM Incorporated has been working with and is planning to implement. As we can see, there are some key features that are highlighted here. We have firewalls, intrusion detection systems, and intrusion prevention systems. These firewalls are positioned at strategic points to monitor and control incoming and outgoing traffic based on predetermined security rules. And then our IDS and IPS are deployed to detect and prevent threats and attacks, ensuring immediate response to security breaches. And then we kind of see a complex type of setup here as we wanted to implement layered security, where we include multiple layers of security that include segmentation of network zones to protect sensitive data and critical operations. So that's kind of where we see our DMZ area and even our air gapped network area that specifically isolates our point of sales data and interactions that happen digitally to just move that all away from our deeper internal interactions that might happen on our network. So definitely there's our network diagram for JAM Incorporated. And then next we have our data flow diagram for JAM Incorporated that just explains and demonstrates how from start to finish where a user is trying to access data from a web portal and how that flows within our network and how that information would work to make sure it's being accessed appropriately based off of access control systems, proxy server rules, things like that. So the network design incorporates strong perimeter defenses and internal segmentations to mitigate risk from external and internal threats. And then the adherence to the GDPR, PCI DSS, and the CCPA policies and standards through encryption, access controls, and data integrity mechanisms ensure compliance to protect customer data. And then also the use of real-time threat intelligence and security operations centers capabilities to monitor, detect, and respond to threats swiftly can really, really improve our infrastructure and our security stature. So definitely these both are going to be super duper important when it comes to how we're building up our framework and our security posture. Next, we go into our risk assessment. So, high risk areas that were identified were our point of sale systems and then also our e commerce platform. Um, our point of sale systems, they're vulnerable to DDoS or DOS attacks and malware, critical for revenue generation. And then definitely our e-commerce platform is a target for cyber attacks due to its online nature and storage of sensitive customer data. Our mitigation strategies are as follows. We plan to enhance security protocols, so the use of encryption and multi-factor authentication to secure transactions and data, and then regular security audits to identify vulnerabilities and implement corrective measures timely. Alrighty, and then we go into our business continuity plan. So the objective of this plan is to minimize downtime and ensure continuity of critical services during various types of disruption. The key components highlighted in our business continuity plan are as follows: data redundancy, so the implementation of real-time data backup solutions to prevent data loss; failover mechanisms, which are automated systems in place to switch to secondary systems without service interruption; and then regular testing, which is periodic drills and tests to ensure the effectiveness of the continuity plans. Next, we go into our incident response plan. So the purpose of this plan is to effectively manage and mitigate cybersecurity incidents with minimal impact on business operations. Our incident response team will really play a big role when incidents like these happen and when we have to actually actively roll out this plan. So those roles include incident response commanders, technical specialists, and even communication leads within our IT teams and departments. And then the response phases are as follows. First, we have identification, which is the use of advanced monitoring tools to detect anomalies quickly. Then we have containment, which is immediate steps to limit the impact of the incident, both short term, isolating affected systems, and long term strategic changes to prevent the reoccurrence of those particular incidents. Then we have our third step, eradication, which involves removing the cause of the incident and any traces from systems. Then we have our recovery phase, our fourth step, which is restoring systems to normal operation and confirming they are clean of threats. And lastly, we have lessons learned, which involves reviewing the incident to improve further response efforts. And our RRT team, so our incident response team, they will follow a specific flow of communication when it comes to internal communication, regular updates within that team, and to leadership will be maintained, so we can maintain situational awareness and coordinate actions. And then external communication is to coordinate messages. They will be coordinating messages to external stakeholders, including customers, partners, regulatory bodies, managed by the communications lead to ensure accurate, timely information is disseminated without violating privacy or legal guidelines. Alrighty, and now we have Jam Incorporated cybersecurity infographic that was created to share with all of our employees and stay posted throughout all of our facilities just to keep all of our teams informed on how to strengthen our shield and keep ourselves protected from certain threats that come our way, such as social engineering attacks, phishing attacks, DOS attacks, things like that. So yeah, this kind of breaks down from for the employee who knows the least to the employee who might know the most, just to help everyone stay informed of cybersecurity risks that exist within our environment, the top 10 overall web application risks, and then also helping us develop and implement security within our own environment. So next, going forward, we want to talk about the importance of training our employees on cybersecurity awareness. So, this involves for JAM Incorporated regular sessions for training, engagement within training, and even advanced modules for training. So, ongoing training programs, we want to include ongoing training programs that cover the latest cybersecurity threats, safe online practices, and company specific security policies. We want to create interactive sessions for cybersecurity awareness and create those real world scenarios to enhance our employees' understanding and retention of the information we're sharing with them. And then we also want to offer our IT staff advanced modules, which is specific targeted training for these employees on securing web applications, database management, and even network security. There's even opportunities for our IT staff to gain certifications within cybersecurity that kind of keeps us ahead of the game as a team overall and allows them to contribute in the aspect of cybersecurity to keep our whole entire company safe. All right, now we're going to talk about the summary of our cybersecurity posture, strategic alignment. So we want to focus on three major topics: protection, detection, and response. So protection, we want to reinforce this by robust security policies, including strict access controls and advanced encryption across digital platforms for JAMP Incorporated. And then detection, we want to enhance want detection to be enhanced through continuous monitoring systems and the deployment of IDS and IPS systems to identify potential threats quickly. And then lastly, response. We want to strengthen our response by a well-defined incident response plan that efficiently manages and mitigates the impacts of security incidents. All right, then we move into commitment to compliance. So this involves the adherence to international and local regulations such as GDPR, PCI DSS, CCPA, which ensures JAM Incorporated meets these legal standards and protects customer data all the time. And then lastly, we want to make sure that we're in support of our own business goals. So these cybersecurity measures are designed to not only protect, but also enable business operations, facilitate safe expansion into new markets and technologies for JAM Incorporated. Lastly, I want to address our future outlook. So it's kind of sort of peeling into our executive summary, but we want to address some major points that we look forward to in the future for JAM Incorporated's cybersecurity stature. So that is emerging technologies. We'll start with that. So the exploration of AI and machine learning to predict and preemptively counteract cyber threats. We want to look into that in the future to implement into our framework. Next, we want to implement employee training enhancements. So, plans to introduce more dynamic and interactive training modules, incorporating VR simulations for incident response trainings would be very, very beneficial for our company in the long run if we could make that happen in the future. Next, we'll go into infrastructure upgrades, and this is the continued investment in upgrading network and data center infrastructure to support scalable and secure cloud services. Next, we'll go into partnerships and collaboration, and we're looking to strengthen relationships with technology partners and industry consortiums to stay ahead of cybersecurity trends and innovations. And then lastly, policy revisions. We want to focus on making regular updates to the cybersecurity policy we have made and frameworks to incorporate new technologies and address any emerging risks that lie ahead. Alrighty, and here are the references for the presentation here. I appreciate your time and your attention, and I do hope you enjoy your day.